Mirror man, you twist and turn my mind until I don't know who I am. Mirror man.
Good evening and welcome to a late night edition of the Arsenal Opinion podcast, one that's been booked in at very, very short notice. So I want to welcome to the show Matt.
Hi, Pete.
And I want to welcome to the show Alfred.
Hello.
So is everybody having a bit of a problem, like coming out of the F5 News Now zone, like you've been glued to your screen all day, maybe had Sky Sports going on in the background, just praying, just hoping something would come good?
We were all hoping and dreaming that it was going to be a transfer window different to every other transfer window. But alas, it was the same, if not worse, than all the others.
I think maybe I was more confused than I've ever been, because at the end I had no idea what it was I was dreaming of and about. It was so weird to be like, oh my God, I hope we don't sign Lemar for 90 million. Then he scores twice for France. And then Alexis stays, and it's that good. And then I realized that Özil is still there. Is that good? Debuchy is still there. Is that good? And then at the end, I really didn't know what to feel. I don't know if we had a good transfer window or not, like, oddly enough.
I think it's fair to say we didn't have a good transfer window.
Well, Kolasinac, like I said, we've strengthened. We got rid of Gibbs, finally, which, in my opinion, is one of the greatest achievements ever. We actually got money for Gibbs.
Yeah, and it was like reading obituaries on Instagram, wasn't it? From all the players.
I know.
Ramsey writing about Chambo.
I always think if Gibbs didn't look like such an absolutely stand-up citizen of society, he wouldn't have got that response. It was almost embarrassing. It was like a war veteran had passed away. It was quite unbelievable. A guy who's literally sat around and hoovered up a salary for the last 13 years for doing next to nothing, was being sainted online by fans. I was like, I can't really remember a good performance. I think his highlight of his career was a tackle against West Brom.
Yeah, if the Queen gets half that reaction when she passes away, she would have done very well indeed.
She will have. But it was staggering that a player that lacking in interest for first team football went to West Brom of all places. I mean, that was the bravest thing he's done in the last 10 years.
It's going to be a real culture shock, isn't it?
Oh, he's going to get beasted by Tony Pulis. Absolutely beasted. But to be fair, Kieran Gibbs had all of the attributes to be a brilliant fullback. He should have been leaving us for 35, 40 million. Not 5 million.
And it's not new intel.
Combing through news articles for the last 10 years to find something interesting that he's done. Lucas Perez gone?
I actually got some new intel this week from someone who actually knows Kieran Gibbs' brother very well. And even Kieran Gibbs' brother said Kieran Gibbs hates football. He's got no interest in it. He's just actually quite good at it. So there's a bit of gossip for you.
I don't even know where I can repeat this story, but I suppose I can. One of the girls that I used to work with got in trouble with her boyfriend because Kieran Gibbs' brother was sliding into her DMs and she got caught. So that was my story.
Sounds like Kieran Gibbs' brother is quite the man. Maybe we should have signed him.
Hello, my name is Park Ju-young. I'm happy to be an Arsenal player.
Park Ju-young, welcome to England. How does it feel to be an Arsenal player?
I'm very honoured and I feel very happy to be at Arsenal. They are a team that I dreamed about when I was young. I always liked Arsenal and I cannot believe that I am here. When contact was made and I was told of their interest, I could not believe it. I was really happy.
As all listeners know, there's nothing I love more on this pod than listening to Matt reminisce about Arsenal past. Can you maybe give us some colours on some other interesting transfer windows we've had?
I certainly can, Alfred. I was trying to think of the worst transfer window we've ever had. And I only had to go back about 25 minutes, which was good. So this is probably the worst one I can remember in living memory, but there have been some really bad ones. I mean, pretty much every year for the last 10 years. But there's three that really stick out in the mind. Ironically, after a couple of them, we didn't have bad seasons, so maybe that's an omen. The first one that was obviously terrible was the one after the 8-2 mauling at Manchester United, when on deadline day we signed Mertesacker, Arteta, and the wonder player that is Yossi Benayoun. And that was classic panic buying at the last minute.
Matt.
That was bad, wasn't it?
Matt, I've got to admit something to you right now, and you, Alfred. I liked Yossi Benayoun. I liked him.
That is
I
a
thought
shock.
he was a good player.
Right. That's your sort of...
That might actually be a Daily Mail headline tomorrow.
I thought he was kind of like the Rosicki that stayed fit for a little bit longer.
Oh,
I think
hey, you need to get back from London.
That's how far our standards have slipped. You used to, when Yossi Benayoun looks like a good player.
Okay, so here's another question for you based on that. A lot of people have the view that Arteta was actually one of the best deadline day signings. Is that revisionist history, or do you think that there's an element of truth to that he came in and he stabilised us?
I think it all comes down to standards, Pete. Was he a good enough player to secure our fate in fourth position for a few years? And yeah, but did he propel us to win a league championship or the Champions League? No.
I think I'm with you there, Matt.
So that was one that really sticks out. There's another two that really stick out. One for we've been made to look pretty stupid this transfer window, and lots of other fans and other clubs, they actually look upon us with sort of pity at the moment. But another season of transfer window where we looked really stupid was the £40 million and £1 bid for Luis Suarez, which was just stupid. I mean, why would you do that? Just bid 48 and get him in.
Yeah, I mean, imagine what our club would have been like.
That was,
yeah.
There were actually quite a lot of interesting things that came out of that, because there were so many errors made along the way there. The first one, the major one, was that Arsenal were led to believe that the buyout clause was any bid over £40 million. And Liverpool played the bravado that they just refused it because English law is kind of loose, so they weren't worried that they were going to get sued. But actually, the details of the contract, of Suarez's contract, said that if a bid over 40 million came in, they would have to just let the player know that that happened. So Arsenal completely fucked that one. And I'm pretty sure that was the same summer that we had a bid for Higuain.
It was.
Yeah, 22 million. And then Florentino Perez bumped it up to 32 million. And we said, no, that's too rich. Then he went to Napoli for that price. And then the next year he went for 90 million. So that was quite the summer.
So that was a summer where we were wholly embarrassed and made to look completely ineffective. At least there sort of seemed to be sort of a weird strategy. Like we looked like we were interested in good players and stuff like that. And then the final really weird one that I wanted to just remind everyone of. I think it's good to remind ourselves that, this isn't the first shit transfer window we've had. We've had quite a few. Is when we didn't sign an outfield player. So we were massively deficient in a variety of positions, and then we didn't sign anyone apart from a goalkeeper.
That was peak Peak Wenger.
There's also one, I'm beginning to see a theme, and we can touch on it maybe later, which is the signing of a player early when season ticket renewals are due, whether it be Sanchez or Lacazette or Xhaka for 30 million plus, and then nothing afterwards. It seems that is also a current theme in our transfer dealings. And it does also prove that we do actually know how to make a transfer of a significant size. It's just maybe it's more that we don't want to. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's an element of, and I think Theresa May should nick Arsenal's PR staff in order to get the British public excited about a really bad Brexit deal. Because I look back at a few of these transfer windows, and I think going into the summer, I'm convinced that Arsene wanted to sign Lacazette, and that was going to be it. And he said, I don't want to disrupt the squad. I think I have top quality across the field. I need a striker. Lacazette is going to be it. He wasn't interested in Lemar to the extent that he ever thought he was going to sign him. And I think it's the PR department that takes over after Arsene does the signing he wants to make. And Gazidis knows that in order to keep fans engaged and happy, there's going to have to be a show for 2 months with the same stories every year. Like the Mbappe thing is ridiculous that we would have been in for him for 162 mil. Whoever's serious about that, I think that tells the whole story. And I'm not sure that we ever had the intent to sign anyone but Lacazette this window.
Got there.
So it's been another interesting last day of the transfer window. Pete, do you want to do a roundup of everything that's happened?
Yeah, so an interesting final 2 days of the window. So we knew that after we were hammered by Liverpool at the weekend that there would be some sort of panic-induced transfer frenzy, and all previous things that Arsene Wenger said all summer would unravel, and players that he said weren't for sale would be out for sale, and the usual mess. But anyway,